Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm calling to order the Thursday, May 2nd, 2019 agenda-setting meeting for the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Clerk of the Board, would you please call the roll? Oh, where is Jimmy?
I need him to start out. Whenever you're ready.
And the late person is Jimmy, not you. Because they haven't called the roll.
Oh, well. That's the first time.
That was the most perfect beginning to a meeting ever, Chair. I'm sorry we lost that. It was well done.
So, we asked for a roll call. Thank you.
Only if you're ready.
All right, we'll go with Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Here.
Freeholder Granados. Freeholder Hudak.
I'm present.
Freeholder Palmieri Mudet.
Here.
Freeholder Staton.
Here.
Freeholder Williams.
Here.
Vice Chairman Mirabella.
I'm present.
And Chair Kowalski.
Here.
Chair, you have 8 freeholders present and 1 clerk.
Thank you. Would you please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag?
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now, Clerk, would you please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. So I understand we've got a presentation by Vice Chairman Mirabella, and I will join you, and let's call up our guests from the audience. This is along with our recognition of the county's declaration of the month of May as Cancer Awareness Month, and further recognizing the week of May 12th through May 18th as Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Week throughout Union County. So, Vice Chairman?
Freeholder Mudet.
Sorry.
Lauren, Annie, Gang, could you please come forward, all of you? Well, we wanted to take time, Lauren and Gang, to honor those who have who we lost, actually, quite frankly, and raise the awareness about metastatic breast cancer. I also work in Scotch Plains, and unfortunately, we lost a councilwoman last year to this very disease. And I saw the fight that she put up and how she valiantly struggled through that. And we want to raise the awareness and continue to raise the awareness. And I give these ladies a lot of credit for coming to this board, to going to several municipalities. And I think next Tuesday you have quite a race to get and accept. And I'm happy that the municipalities that you've approached have done this resolution as well. Through Chairwoman Kowalski and all the freeholders, we'll send this resolution to all 20 other counties, and hopefully that they will take this up too and raise the awareness. So I want to turn it over to you, Lauren, to say a couple of words and introduce the rest of the group.
All right, thank you so much. I'm just so grateful to see so many friendly faces at the Union County Board of Freeholders, because I know most, if not all of you. I started my relationship with the Freeholders back in 2015 when I founded Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in Union County. And I had the great pleasure a couple weeks ago of going to the Center for Gun Violence Research in New Brunswick and really taken aback just by the power of the movement in New Jersey. And during that time, I heard a lot of references to the cancer disease and saw that in the CDC, cancer is one of the very top funded diseases that we have research that we do on that disease, and gun violence is pretty much non-existent. But I hope to see the same kind of drive and movement in the metastatic breast cancer field in New Jersey. I know we can do it. So I had the great pleasure of meeting Tammy Bowling in Scotch Plains, and not only that, but she's just been so incredibly inspiring as an advocate that I decided to be her volunteer campaign manager. And you are all our very first kickoff for this group that we co-founded, and I want to hand the mic to Tammy so she can tell you all about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren, and everyone for your support today. So April 23rd, 2015, I thought was the worst day of my life when I got a phone call from the breast surgeon letting me know that I had breast cancer. And I was ready to have a double mastectomy like most people do that are diagnosed with breast cancer. But the hospital advised me to get a PET scan. And when they did, they found out that the cancer had already metastasized to my liver, which made it stage 4 breast cancer, which means metastatic breast cancer, for which there is no cure. And the average life expectancy is 18 to 36 months when diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. So I made it my business to educate and inform over the last couple years and channel my energy towards fundraising. And I have raised about $150,000 over the last 3 years for metastatic breast cancer research. But what I learned is that only 5% of US breast cancer research dollars are allocated to the already metastasized patient. So 95% is going towards prevention. And what's interesting is that when people have an early stage breast cancer diagnosis, stage 0, 1, 2, or 3, they don't die from that. You know, they have mastectomy, they have tough years, chemo, but 99% of the time, they're gonna survive an early stage diagnosis. 30% of early stage breast cancers come back as stage 4. And that is when they die of it, because there is no cure and there are not enough treatment options. Well, I was introduced to a woman named Monica 2 years ago. She was 33 years old. She had a 2-year-old daughter. She was a young mom just like me. She was diagnosed de novo, which means stage 4 off the bat, just like me. We had so much in common as we talked about how to cope with this and pray that we would see our children stay alive, be alive to see them grow up. About 10 days ago, Monica died. Less than 2 years surviving metastatic breast cancer. And in her memory and in her honor, I co-founded Medivivers of New Jersey with Lauren O'Brien. And that's really what this initiative is about, to let the public know about these statistics, that more research funds are needed for metastatic breast cancer specifically, and that now we have a group in New Jersey that patients, families, and friends, and anyone that wants to take action can join Medivivers of NJ on Facebook, and together we can make a difference. I'm going to turn it over to Kathleen, who's volunteered to help in the cause.
I'm Kathleen Murray from Cranford, and I'm honored to be here with these 2 amazing women to bring more awareness to metastatic breast cancer. It was an issue until about 8 weeks ago I was unaware of, and hopefully we're increasing that awareness tonight, and when we work together we can find a solution to this issue. Thank you for your support.
We will approve communications at the next regular meeting on May 16th. And so I will call up Tom Minio. No, Director Graziano, you're here. I didn't see you. Okay. From the Department of Engineering, Public Works, and Facilities Management.
Good evening, Madam Chair. The department has 5 resolutions on for your consideration tonight, and I'll try and answer any questions you have.
Okay, thank you, Director.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Department of Human Services, Director Debbie Ann Anderson.
Good evening, Chair and members of the board. The Department of Human Services has 3 resolutions on for tonight, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you, Director. Department of Parks and Recreation, Director Ron Zuber.
Good evening, Chairman and Freeholders. Department of Parks and Recreation has 1 item on tonight's agenda, and I'll try to answer any questions you have.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes, do you have the list of which small properties?
Yes, I do, Freeholder.
You don't have to do it today, just send it later.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Office of the County Council, County Council Robert Barry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Office of the County Council has 1 item on tonight's agenda, and I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
At this time, I'll ask freeholders if you'd like to add any resolutions or request any friendly amendments to be reflected in the regular meeting on May 16th. I would like to first join in number 4 with Vice Chairman Mirabella.
I would also
So-
like to join.
Freeholder Garrettson, yeah?
Should we do it individual? Well, I'm sorry. I'd
No,
like to also
just-
join number 4
Okay.
and number 3.
And 3, okay.
Yes, please. And I also, if either as chair or Freeholder Hudak or Mudat, if you guys can please tell us a little bit more about number 8.
Basically, number 8 is asking for, well, it's saying that we support our municipalities in their efforts to decide what's the best thing to do with PSE&G's high-voltage power lines. PSE&G apparently feels that it's important to increase their voltage given the demand for power in our area, and they have proposed increasing the voltage along lines in certain areas, and residents in a number of those areas, both in Cranford and Westfield, and I believe in a couple of other towns as well, have requested that the towns look into making a change for this with PSE&G. So we support that effort and ask for more public input on that. Fielder Estrada?
Yes, a couple of things here. One is the one with Bill Populous, which I remember very much when he was in, I guess it's in Fanwood as a councilman, so I'd like to be included to that. In number 8, I don't know, I seem to be, so we're saying in number 8 that we agree with the municipality in reference to allocating high voltage power lines. Is that what-
Freeholder, if I can just clarify, we received, and I don't know if you received any
Yeah,
emails,
some
but I
emails,
received a
yeah.
number of emails from residents in Cranford and Westfield who were concerned about the placement of these lines. It's my understanding that the township is going to be having a meeting for residents to provide public input because there are concerns, and to allow PSE&G to address their concerns to it. What this resolution does is we're supporting the municipality in their effort to get answers for their residents, and if they choose to work with the BPU or take this, to take the matter to PSE&G, we're supporting their efforts. It's a concern of a number of the residents regarding the upgrade and the ability to provide more information and transparency.
But in terms of this particular resolution, is sponsored by the chairwoman, yourself, and Freeholder Kimberly Palmieri, Mudet. And so what does that leave the rest of the board? As we just silent on it, or because personally, that's understanding that, the municipality will ultimately have the final word because we don't control what PSE&G does.
Correct.
So,
We can, I would imagine it's like any resolution that we do that's sponsored by the freeholders. It so happened that this was brought up and in a conversation between Kim, or Freeholder Mudet, and Chairman Kowalski and myself, I said, can we prepare a resolution? And if anyone would like to join in on the resolution, we welcome you to the resolution. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
no, right, but I'm trying to, in my mind, interpret a no vote for this. I mean, I don't want to be sounding, but I don't think that we have a role to play in reference to this. We may have a bigger role in saying something about the cell towers in Cranford that we do about the public electric and gas company higher voltage. In both of those cases, I truly believe there's a need to have this capability because if you don't have enough voltage, then guess what? When the power goes out or too much consumption, then you have problems.
I agree that there very well may be a need for it. I also believe that PSE&G should be accessible to the municipality and provide information to the residents. And that's really what the resolution's requesting that they do.
Okay, provided that sounds differently. It just, unfortunately, we don't have the full resolution. We just have a verbiage here that says.
Fair enough.
Okay.
We'll-
Even
we'll
though we're
have-
not voting on it today anyway.
No, we're not voting today, but
Yeah.
Freeholder Strata will have more information for you
Okay.
shortly.
I'd like to see that as well. Thank you.
Okay. Freeholder Staten.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I would like to be added to number 4 and 8, please.
So maybe we
I
should.
apologize, I didn't hear that, number 4 and
8.
8.
Maybe we
That's
should.
actually my dad's friend.
Should we do number 4 from the entire board, since it seems that there are quite a few freeholders that want to join on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And is there, okay, all right. I'm sorry, Freeholder Staten, are you finished?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that was it. Thank you.
Vice Chair?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a result of the fiscal committee meeting, I will have several sponsorship resolutions for the next meeting. Also, just a quick comment on both number 4 and number 5. So Bill Populus, later in years, a statesman in Fanwood and an overall, terrific guy as a public official than as just a regular guy. And then, if you look at number 5, Anthony Stites, who just kind of growing up, 17 years old, and unfortunately passed in a traffic accident, but a member of the ROTC, and just in the becoming into the prime of his life. What a tragedy on both ends. And I just wanted to kind of make that note. I did get a chance to attend the wake and talk to Gary Stites, who's a member of the Union Fire Department and a good friend and part of the. And Director Moran knows this. He's a part and has been a part of the fire officials meeting that I work with in that group around Union County in the fire prevention world. And I don't know what words to send Gary and his family, but sad on both of these occasions. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Freeholder Williams?
I would like to be added to number 3 and number 8. You said number 4.
It's the entire board.
Got it. So number 3 and number 8. Thank you.
Freeholder Hudak, you're good?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Freeholder Strata.
Good question. Angela, could you give us some more information about the Falun Dafa?
Absolutely. It's actually, we should probably give, it's typically, it's always at NJPAC. It also goes to New York City, but it is a Chinese kind of meditation that they do every year, and it's something very peaceful. I will probably make sure that we have some information, but it's something that they typically do every single year, and they bring it all around the world. So this is something that one of the leads with the World Falan actually reached out to us and asked us if we, as a board, would actually support the organization. I believe, Jimmy, they had a number of resolutions that also came from the governor's office, several municipalities. We were probably one of the first counties, so they are looking for us to take the lead, but I'll make sure that I share additional information. But it is an organization that is nationally recognized, so we do want to make sure that I do provide that additional information, and I apologize, I don't have it on me.
Chair, through you, Freeholder Garrettson is correct. I received a state proclamation and a number of letters of congratulations and letters of support, so I can share that with the entire board.
Just another point, because we have passed some resolutions in reference to Falun Gong, which could be the same organization back maybe 17 or 18 years ago, where they were starting out, and one of the biggest things they did in New York, in terms of they used to demonstrate across the Chinese consulate.
Right.
And I often was there, as one time they invited me to come over, and so it probably may be the same. I don't know. I don't
think
know
it
them as
is.
Falun Dafa.
It is, I just tried to get some information, but it is the World Falun Dafa Day, a celebration still shadowed by persecution. So practitioners in Washington enjoy sharing performances, art, and information about just overcoming obstacles. So it is something that I think we should probably properly share, and if appropriate, through the chair, we'd like to maybe see if more freeholders would like to join in, maybe at the next meeting with additional information.
Okay,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
thank you.
Falun Gong.
And I may have a couple of additional laudatories, Mr. Clerk, so. And Freeholder Palmieri Muted, you're fine? Oh, okay. Okay, so, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second. Oh, I can't do both.
All right. Vice Chair Mirabella and Freeholder Hudak. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We're adjourned.
As a matter of